I don't know why I'm writing this now. You're probably asleep. Or maybe you're awake in that way you get lately, staring at your phone, scrolling through nothing, the blue light making your face look tired and far away even though you rewrite there next to me. I started this letter 3 weeks ago. I didn't finish it then because I thought maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was imagining it. Maybe I was the one pulling away first and projecting it onto you, the way my therapist says I do, looking for proof of the ending before it arrives so I can say I saw it coming. But I wasn't wrong. I know the exact moment I knew. It was a Thursday. We were in the kitchen. You were unloading the dishwasher, and I was wiping down the counter with that sponge you always say I use too much soap on. You were telling me about something that happened at work, something about a meeting that ran long, a coworker who interrupted you, the usual frustrations. I was listening. At least I thought I was listening. But then you stopped talking mid-sentence, just stopped. And you looked at me, and I realized you'd asked me a question. I said, "What?" You said, "Never mind." You didn't ask again. You just closed the dishwasher and walked out of the room, and I stood there with the sponge in my hand, soap still dripping onto the counter, and I felt this absence of something I couldn't name. It wasn't anger, it wasn't even disappointment. It was just tired. Like you were tired of trying to be heard by someone who wasn't fully there anymore, except I was there. I was standing right there. I keep thinking about the way we used to talk. Not in the beginning, everyone talks in the beginning. I mean later. A year in, 2 years. When we'd already memorized each other's stories and didn't need to perform anymore. We used to lie in bed on Sunday mornings and you'd tell me things you never told anyone. Small things, stupid things. Like how you used to steal your sister's Halloween candy and hide it in your closet. Or how you once cried during a car commercial because the music reminded you of your grandfather. I loved those stories. I loved that you trusted me with the small things, not just the big ones. I don't know when you stopped telling me things. Maybe it was gradual. Maybe I missed it because I was busy or distracted or convinced that we were fine because we weren't fighting, but we weren't talking either. Not really. We were narrating our days to each other, reporting, checking boxes. How was work? Fine, yours? Same. And then we'd sit on the couch and watch something we'd both forget by morning. Last Tuesday, I asked if you wanted to go for a walk. It was one of those late spring evenings when the light turns golden and the air smells like cut grass and warmth. And I thought maybe if we just moved our bodies, got outside, stopped sitting in the same room staring at the same walls, maybe we'd find our way back to something. You said you were tired. I said, "It's just a walk." You said, "I know," but you didn't get up. I stood by the door for a few seconds waiting. I don't know what I was waiting for. Maybe for you to change your mind. Maybe for you to ask me to stay. You didn't. So I went alone. I walked for an hour. Maybe longer. I didn't bring my phone, so I don't know exactly. I just walked through the neighborhood we chose together 3 years ago because it was close to your work and had good coffee shops and tree-lined streets that made us feel like we were the kind of people who had their lives together. I passed the park where we used to bring books on Saturday afternoons and never read them because we'd just end up talking. I passed the corner store where you always buy those mints you like, the ones I used to make fun of you for buying in bulk. I passed our street. I kept walking. When I came home, you were in bed. The lights were off. You were facing the wall. I don't know if you were asleep. I think the hardest part is that nothing happened. There's no fight to point to, no betrayal. No moment where one of us said something we can't take back. You didn't fall in love with someone else. I didn't either. We just drifted. Like two people in a lake who stopped swimming toward each other and didn't notice the current pulling them apart until the distance was too far to call across. And now I'm here, in this house we share, in this bed we share, and I feel more alone than I ever did when I actually was alone. I keep thinking about the last time you touched me on purpose, not in passing. Not a hand on my back as you moved past me in the hallway. I mean, really touched me with intention. With presence. It was over a month ago. We were sitting on the couch, watching something I don't remember, and you reached over and took my hand. Just held it. Your thumb moved back and forth across my knuckles the way it used to when we first started dating, when every touch still felt like a question and an answer at the same time. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to ruin it by acknowledging it, by making it into a thing, but I held on. I held on tighter than I should have probably, and after a few minutes, you let go. You didn't pull away fast. It wasn't dramatic. You just let go, like it was natural, like it didn't mean anything. Maybe it didn't. I've been trying to figure out when it started. Was it when I took that job that made me work late 3 nights a week? Was it when you stopped asking me to come to your work events because you said I always looked uncomfortable? Was it when we stopped having sex and pretended not to notice? Was it when I started sleeping on my side of the bed and you started sleeping on yours and we stopped meeting in the middle? Or was it earlier? Was it always going to end up here? Were we always just postponing this feeling? There's a photo of us on the bookshelf in the living room. It's from a trip we took 2 years ago. We're standing in front of some lake I don't remember the name of, squinting into the sun, my head on your shoulder, your arm around my waist. We look happy. We were happy, I think. Or maybe we were just good at taking photos. I walked past that picture this morning and I stopped and stared at it for a long time trying to remember what we talked about that day. What we laughed about. What I was thinking when the camera clicked. I couldn't remember. All I could think was how far away that moment feels now. How far away you feel now. Last night I almost said it. We were brushing our teeth. Side by side. Same routine we've done 1,000 times. You were looking at your phone. I was looking at you in the mirror. I wanted to say, "Are we okay?" But I didn't, because I was afraid of the answer. Or worse, I was afraid you wouldn't answer at all. That you'd just look at me with that same tired expression and say, "What do you mean?" Like I was making something out of nothing. Like I was the one imagining the distance. But I'm not imagining it. I know you feel it too. I know because you stopped trying. You stopped asking me how I slept. You stopped telling me when something at work upset you. You stopped turning toward me in the night. You stopped fighting with me, and maybe that's the worst part. Not that we're fighting, but that we're not. Because fighting means you still care enough to be angry. Silence just means you're done. I keep trying to pinpoint the last time you looked at me the way you used to. Not with frustration, not with obligation, but with that look you had in the beginning, the one that made me feel like I was the most interesting person in the room, even when I wasn't saying anything. I think it was months ago. Maybe longer. I think I've been grieving it this whole time without admitting it. Grieving you while you're still here. This morning, I made coffee. Yours black, mine with too much cream. I brought both cups to the table and set yours down in front of you. You said, "Thanks, you didn't look up, you were scrolling." I sat down across from you and wrapped my hands around my mug and watched you not see me. And I thought about all the mornings we've sat here just like this. How many hundreds of times have we done this exact thing, and when did it stop meaning anything? When did we become people who share a table but not a life? I thought about leaving, not in a dramatic way. Not packing bags and slamming doors, just leaving, quietly. Getting in the car and driving until I couldn't anymore. Not because I don't love you, but because I don't know how to stay in a room with someone who's already left. Used to ask me what I was thinking. You'd catch me staring out the window or zoning out in the middle of a conversation, and you'd touch my arm and say, "Where'd you go?" And I'd tell you, even when it was nothing, even when it was just noise in my head. You don't ask anymore, maybe because you already know, or maybe because you don't want to. I started this letter because I needed to say something, but now I don't know what I'm trying to say. That I miss you? That I'm angry? That I'm scared? All of it, I think. All of it at once. I miss the version of you who used to laugh at my jokes even when they weren't funny. I'm angry at the version of you who stopped trying to know me. I'm scared that this is it, that we've become one of those couples who stays together out of habit and convenience and fear of starting over. I'm scared that I'm writing this letter and you'll never read it. Or worse, that you will, and it won't change anything. I don't know how to end this. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Maybe some letters aren't meant to be finished. Maybe they're just meant to exist. Evidence that something was felt. That someone tried. I tried. I'm still trying. But I don't know if trying is enough anymore. It's late now, you're asleep. Or pretending to be. I'm sitting in the kitchen, writing this by the light of the stove, and I keep thinking about that Thursday, the dishwasher, the sponge, the question I didn't hear, the moment I knew. I keep thinking maybe I should wake you. Maybe I should hand you this letter and make you read it and force us to talk about the thing we've been avoiding. But I won't, because I already know what will happen. You'll read it. You'll say you're sorry, you'll say you didn't realize. And then we'll go back to the same silence, the same distance, the same slow ending. So I'll leave this here, on the counter, next to your coffee, and maybe you'll see it in the morning. Or maybe you won't. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore.